How's it going, folks? My name is James Croft, and today I'm going to talk to you about getting involved with Imagine Cup. Now, this is a student competition which is held by Microsoft annually. I'm basically going to go over what Imagine Cup is, what benefits you will get out of going to the Imagine Cup, and what the finals experience is like. So, our big question is, what is the Imagine Cup? Now, for you, those of you who don't know, this is going to be a quick overview of what Imagine Cup actually is. So, it's a global student competition run annually by Microsoft. Last year, it was held in Seattle, but due to its success, it will be held there again this year, the home of Microsoft at Redmond. It is hosted all over the world, so this isn't a singular event which goes on in Seattle or at this certain location. Each country will hold their own national finals, for which the student teams within that country will compete to be the representative of that country itself, who will then go on to the Imagine Cup finals. This year, I believe there was more than 358,000 competitors worldwide. This is individuals, not teams. And around 35 finalist teams actually make it to the Imagine Cup finals. Now, this is usually due to the countries only sending one representative team from their individual countries, which is why there are so few. And this is one of the reasons why it's so hard to actually get into the Imagine Cup finals. But with a great idea and planning, it is possible. So what are the competitions for Imagine Cup? There are currently 3. In the past, everything has been themed, but now Microsoft are giving you a free-for-all. And as these pictures here show, the 3 competitions are Innovation, Games, and World Citizenship. The national finals have started now, and they run up until about the 23rd of April, or if you're going to be competing online, from December to March. Then the semi-finals will be in May, and the world finals will be in July of 2015. So now I'm going to go over what these individual competitions are, and I've got a few videos to show you which you can watch in a second. So, creating the next big thing. Innovation. This team, Team Estimate from New Zealand, they created a meeting/organisation app which allows you to track users who are on their way to your meeting. So you'll invite friends and you'll be able to get live updates on your device of where they are, if they're actually moving, and what time they will actually arrive at the meeting location. So I'll go ahead and play this video for you.
New Zealand's Estimate has created an app that brings friends together, especially your friends who are always late. The app takes events organized through Facebook and other social media and adds real-time updates via GPS tracking. Instead of repeatedly calling and texting your friends to ask where they are, Estimate tells you their current ETA, so you know when to order the first round, or the second. Planning to spend time with your friends is easy. It's actually meeting up that can prove difficult. Research has shown that for every 10 friends who have agreed to come to an event, 6 of them will be late. Estimate is a Windows Phone app that integrates with social networks like Facebook. Arrival time updates are calculated automatically for each user, and even tell the organizer whether a guest is currently idle or actually on their way. The project uses Microsoft Azure Web Services, mobile services, and SQL database, as well as Bing Map services to analyze routes and traffic. The team will conduct 3 months of closed testing, followed by a 6-month regional rollout. The app will be free to use, with premium features available for purchase after a 1-month trial.
So that was the Innovation first place winners at the World Finals of last year, 2014. And they had a fantastic application for something that isn't currently available, is something brand new, and that's what innovation is all about. So what does innovation take? It needs to be something that will change the way people use technology. Look at things like Google Glass, the new Microsoft wristband for tracking fitness, and all of these other devices and software which enable people to use technology in a way that you wouldn't imagine a couple of years ago or even right now. For this, you need to be taking something that's so dear to you that you believe can be a thing, but you don't think you can do it. At the end of the day, you can do it, and this is the competition to show it. Innovation is tough. It is very hard to come up with a new idea, but it is doable. Your app has to be something that's never seen before. The best practice is to look at the current market and see what it is missing. You need to be filling those gaps, whether it's apps for Windows or apps for any other platform. Look for something that is missing and make it. Take advantage of cloud technology. Use Microsoft Azure Cloud Services to make your apps lightweight and portable. This isn't a plug for Microsoft Azure, but using these cloud technologies is something new. You're taking something new and making it better. And again, teamwork is key. This is something that I personally had a problem with when I was an Imagine Cup entrant, is that it's hard to manage a project solo. It is possible, people have done it in the past, but it is better to work as a team and make this app a community project, which ends up being the next big thing. In this competition, you'll be judged on 4 aspects: the concept of the application, the level of innovation, the execution of the app, and the feasibility in the current market. So these are things you need to be thinking about. Now move on to games. Play to win.
Team Brainy Studio from Russia.
Russia's Brainy Studio created Turn On, a charming and fast-paced video game where you play an electrical spark, bringing power back to a darkened city. Leaping from power lines to metal pipes and lighting up lamps, TVs, and entire buildings, your spark makes the city come to life. Turn On is Brainy Studio's 3rd game as a team. They placed 2nd in the 2013 Imagine Cup Russia National Finals, and this week received the App Campus Award for Excellence in Mobile Apps. For this project, the students were inspired by Earth Hour, a global environmental movement to turn off all lights worldwide for 1 hour. They conceived of a world where the lights have gone out and only a brave spark can bring them back. Brainy Studio used the Unity game engine for development and built their project for Windows 8 and Windows Phone. Microsoft Azure is used to save game data and synchronize it across platforms so you can play Turn On wherever you go. Brainy Studio has released a free web-based prototype that has been played by more than 5,000 gamers, providing valuable user analytics to improve the project. The team will release Turn On for multiple platforms in early 2015 as a free-to-play game supported by advertising, with a paid unlock for the full version.
So that was Team Brainy Studio from Russia and their amazing game to bring awareness of Earth Hour. Now, the great thing about the games category is that you can take the other 2 competitions and merge them into one. So bringing a game together which is innovative and is world-changing. So for this, they've taken the Earth Hour, which is a global event, and they've made something cool and fun out of it. Now, this gives an advantage over making just anything, so the next Call of Duty game, but it doesn't matter what you're making for this category, it is just a game. So anything that you can come up with, be imaginative, make it fun, make it entertaining. So this is possibly one of the hardest of all of the competitions, mainly because you've got to come up with something new, something fun, and it's not easy. Taking part in local games competitions, games hacks, game jams, whatever you want to call them, is a great way of making a start on producing awesome games, and getting them from where you are there in a 24-hour or 48-hour gap into this is absolutely critical. You'll end up producing a game that has fantastic success at Imagine Cup, as Brainy Studio have shown. So again, like I said, combine the other competitions. It's a great way of bringing something new to something that you wouldn't think would be a game. Instead of just going out and making anything, pick something that is dear to you, something that means something, a local event, a national event, and make it fun. Again, fun and entertaining, it's what it's all about. Exciting new ideas. You need to be the next big thing, not a repeat of something old. So these judges aren't going to be looking for the next Pac-Man clone or the next Tetris clone. You need to be coming up with something new. And use the latest game technologies. As Brainy Studio in that video said, they used the Unity game engine to create their game. They're using modern technologies to make something awesome, and they're using Microsoft Azure Cloud Services, as it said, to store all of their game save data, so that you can take the game, say you're playing on a Windows phone, save your game, go over to an Android phone or a Windows tablet, something bigger, your desktop, your laptop, and you can carry on from where you were. All key things that you need to be thinking about, and great to integrate into one application. So now we move on to world citizenship, changing the world.
Australia's iNemia has created a low-cost, easy-to-use mobile app that can diagnose anemia simply by taking a selfie. The app analyzes the eye of the user through the camera of a mobile phone. By detecting conjunctival pallor, the project's algorithm can diagnose the presence and severity of anemia. Anemia affects approximately 25% of the global population and accounts for 20% of all maternal deaths. Standard medical tests for anemia require trained personnel. Team iNemia consists of 2 medical students with a passion for technology. They previously scored an honorable mention in the Imagine Cup Project Blueprint and User Experience Challenges, as well as the Imagine Cup Skype Award for Social Impact. iNemia runs on Windows Phone. Image processing is done in the cloud with Microsoft Azure. Improvements to the algorithm are made directly to the cloud without requiring a client update. Team iNemia is running an ethics-approved multi-center trial in both rural and urban Australia, with 87 participants generating hundreds of photos. Accuracy rates are up to 80% in the prototype. The team will seek seed funding and NGO partnerships to run field trials in the developing world. iNemia will be free to users for limited monthly usage. In-app purchases enable unlimited usage for clinics and the ability to generate medical reports and collect data over time. For the developing world, the team expects iNemia to be completely free.
So, as that video explained, world citizenship is about creating an application that solves a world problem. Here it was the cost of anemic tests and the way that they have to be done. And this app basically takes that and gives you a first screening of anemia. It doesn't say that you do or definitely do or definitely don't have it, but what it does do is say there is a possibility, seek advice. It's a way of easing the issue through an application, through technology. So with world citizenship, you want to be addressing a social world problem. Again, this is a tough category to take part in, mainly because you have to come up with an idea that will change the world around you and change the lives of real people, which is my next point. Your application needs to solve a real problem with real people. Team iNemia managed to get their application out before the Imagine Cup finals. So people were already using this application, and it's been producing fantastic results for them. So this is one of the key aspects of the World Citizenship category. So you also need to find something that affects multiple people. It doesn't have to, just affect you, something in your daily life, a first world problem. It wants to be something that could affect, try and make it something that would affect globally people. Maybe a country, a third world country, a developing country, something that is going to aid them through technology and do it well. So again, you're doing this to build and change people's lives, and it's a great opportunity to do this through technology. So for the past couple of years, Microsoft have also taken this path for each competition, and they involve 4 steps, but these are optional, and you do not have to do these pathways to get into the competition. You can go straight into the competition, but these will build upon the development of your project and will overall make it easier for you if you do get to the finals. So it is recommended that you take these paths. So step 1 is a pitch video. The video only has to be about 10 minutes, and you need to do your research for this. Come up with the idea for your application, no programming involved, find a solution to it, and prepare yourself to explain the solution as though you're speaking to someone who will be investing in your project. A bit like in the UK, we have the TV program Dragon's Den. You're basically taking your idea to a group of people and saying, this is what I want to do, and then producing a video of that explanation. Then there's the project blueprint. So you've made the great pitch now, and now it's time to show your plan of action. This is a This is a 10-page document explaining the design, architecture, and fundamental functionality of the application. Again, no programming is required at this point, but if you are thinking about getting into the competition, it's probably a good idea at this point to start the development of an early prototype. So then there's step 3, user experience. Now, user experience comes down to a topic that I was interested in just a couple of weeks ago, and I've been looking into further. It's a concept called 5-star wars. And basically this is the war to get a 5-star rated app in the marketplace. Now, the fundamentals from the scheme of 5-star wars is how are you going to make your app a success with functionality. So you need to create a detailed walkthrough of the usability of the application. Again, no program required, but it's great at this point to be showing what the user can see, what they can do. Pressing this button, where does it take you? When should this dialogue be shown? And doing this will often solve edge cases that you otherwise wouldn't notice in your application. At this point, if you have started developing your application, it's great for a usability point of view to get other people to test your application, not just your team. Get a friend, get a family member to test your application and use it as they would want to use it. Don't tell them how to use it, just give their phone to them and let them have their way with your application. And you'll find that each user will use it differently and expects certain buttons and certain text boxes and dialogues to do certain things. And it's at that point that you can start developing your application further. And then step 4 is the competition itself. So this is you submitting your final development project as your national final. You'll then end up in a national final, and if you place first, you'll be going to the World Finals in Seattle. So now I quickly want to talk to you about my experience with Imagine Cup. in 2012/2013 for the 2013 Russia World Cup, I developed an application called PhysiHealth, which is demonstrated here in this picture. Now, the thing about creating an application is you need the great first idea. It's not easy to come up with an idea, but the best way to do it in these cases is to find someone who needs, especially for world citizenship, is to find someone that needs something solving and you solve it. Another great point to make about your Imagine Cup team is to find a great mentor, someone who's been there and done it, or a professional in the development industry. Your mentor can actually be anyone. It can be a student, it could be me, it could be, for example, or it could be your lecturer or teacher at university. Rob Miles, some of you may know, was my mentor for this project and also the inspiration for this project. I entered Imagine Cup as a solo team, which is not actually the best option, but it's not impossible. Like I said before, people have done it in the past. It's not about the team development that gets you to the Imagine Cup finals. It's about the application itself. So if you can come up with something super awesome and actually deliver the project at the end, you're on to a winner. So my idea came from Rob Miles's recovery through physiotherapy. A couple of years ago, Rob had to, as I said there, recover from physiotherapy, and he was doing his exercises at home, and he had to manually write down, using pen and paper, information about his exercises that he was doing at home. So they give him a little pamphlet with a few exercises on and an Excel style spreadsheet table on a piece of paper, which he would fill in his heart rate before, during and after his exercise. And this idea for the application was to automate that process using cloud technologies to make it an easier to understand application, and this information could then be transmitted straight down to the physiotherapist, so there was no need for Rob to go back into the hospital or physiotherapy treatment centre for him to provide this information, and for the doctor to say there's something wrong, do this better. This application would do that for you. But why? It was a great idea, but why did it fail? I ran out of time due to a lack of planning and the fact that I had a lot of university work on. Now, that's not to put you off. The reason that was because I was doing this as a solo team and I had other commitments. At the time, I was doing an internship, so it probably wasn't the best time to be doing it, and I jumped straight into the development without planning. Being in a solo team did make it hard to create all the aspects of the deliverable, but most of it was actually complete, but I just ran out of time before the submission was due. The one thing you do take away from doing an Imagine Cup project, though, is that you gather in that development of your skills, your skill set, using different technologies, learning something new, and experiencing a competition like no other. But that isn't all about the Imagine Cup that I want to talk about, so I will move on to the finals experience. Now, the finals experience, last year in 2014, I travelled to Seattle representing the UK in the Imagine Cup finals as a Microsoft student partner alongside the UK team Vanguard. And while I was there, I got a chance to not only experience the finals as the other students who were actually competing, but I also got to experience the city itself. So I'll go over a bit about what it takes when you get to the finals. So impressing the judges is very hard, but again, it is doable with some quite easy steps. So the first part of the impression is through presentations. You get a 15-minute presentation before you get moved on, and a new team comes on and does their presentation. So be prepared. Learn your slides, rehearse your pitch, make it like the pitch video. If you do the pitch video, this is basically what that is. You're conveying your application to the judges and saying why you should win. Remember to practice it. It's not something that you should be taking. It should be something that you take seriously. You're here. You're at the finals. Everyone's excited, but you're here to win and gain experience. But the big punch about being at the finals is you're now in the position of you've now become employable. At this point, you're at the finals. You're going to be meeting so many people. So make sure you practice your rehearsal before you actually go out there. Be comfortable in the situation. I say this based on my experience and some of the people that I know. Be comfortable in the situation. It's very nerve-wracking if you're not very good at presentation skills, but show that you aren't too nervous will come across as a bonus to the judges. Stuttering over your words, it's not going to play well. Don't rush. I know you have 15 minutes, but it's plenty of time to direct all of that information you need to the judges. Show your interest as well. You've made it to the finals. You want to show that you're interested in the competition, that you're interested in winning, but most of all, be excited. You've made it to the finals. So then there's the next part of impressing the judges, the showcase. It isn't actually just for the judges. Here you're going to be demonstrating your application, your Imagine Cup entry to thousands of Microsoft employees throughout the day. I believe, from hearsay, that just across from where we were, Satya Nadella was around, and some of the big name Microsoft employees that people know were walking around these tents looking at what the employees were doing, as well as these Imagine Cup students entries. You're thinking about all of these things that are going on, so you need to be a bit wary of that. But yeah, so you're demonstrating to MS employees, but not only that, you're demonstrating to the other teams. At this point, it's your team's time to shine. You're demonstrating the application itself. It's no presentation. You're not talking about what the application was and how it came to be. You're talking about the application, the physical thing you have in your hand right now. You'll also be you'll be showing it off to other teams, but don't judge your app against others. It's a strange competition, and if you're here, you have a chance to win. Don't feel that your app is any worse or any better than any other teams. You're all on a level playing field. Most of all, be prepared. It's going to be a long day of relaying the same information over and over to multiple groups of people. It's not a pitch anymore. This is you having fun, showing what you've done, being excited. Just make sure that you know what you're going to talk about and sell your app to these people, because these will potentially be users of your application, and if you've got a good demonstration, they'll remember that. So you've impressed the judges, all the judging has been done. It is time for the awards ceremony. Now, this year it was held at the Convention Center in Seattle, and I'm going to try and describe what the atmosphere was like. It may not come across as exciting as it as it was at the time, but I'll try and convey it as much as possible. So the room was packed full of students, pumped full of excitement. We all walked in together from the back of the stage, facing the opposite way. We were all walking down these 2 aisles, screaming, shouting, cheering. And just in front of us we had the University of Washington Marching Band playing some fantastic music. It's the first time I've ever seen a marching band. We don't usually get them in the UK. But they were absolutely fantastic, and everybody was, thrilled. So it's Microsoft employees here, tech enthusiasts, businessmen. They're everywhere in anticipation of the next huge project. They're looking for potential. They're looking for employable students. And you're in one of the big tech capitals, which is Seattle, with some great huge business names there like Microsoft, Valve, etc. etc. So this is a competition like no other. Like I said, there was a huge entrance with a marching band, and there's excitement from people all over the world. This isn't just your country, you're sharing it with everybody. It's a community event, and it's streamed live for millions of others to watch from home. So make sure you send a link to your mum and your dad and show them just how proud they should be of you. And then there is what to do after the Imagine Cup. You end up getting about a couple of days extra once the Imagine Cup finals are over. Everything's been judged, everyone's received their awards, and the crowning team is presented with the Imagine Cup. So you now are stuck. I say stuck. Okay, say you're stuck in this city. For this example, I'm obviously going to go off my experience, which is in Seattle. You're a guest in a new and exciting city. You've probably never been here before. You'll probably never come back. So go and explore the city itself. Try a new activity. While I was there, me, some Microsoft student partners, and the UK Microsoft team for Imagine Cup went kayaking down the river at sunset, and you get this fantastic view of Seattle. It's something like no other. You wouldn't get this experience elsewhere. You're in this city. Do something while you're there. It just makes it fun, and do it with your new friends. Make friends with the students around you from other countries and do something together. You're all come from the same backgrounds, you're just in different geographic locations. You are now together as one Microsoft entity. Go out and do something. Visit local landmarks. The top right picture there is the Seahawks Stadium in Seattle. Go and watch a football game. Go and watch a game of local sports. So like NFL in the US. Just if there's a game on, go watch it. It's something different. And visit the local landmarks. In Seattle, there's the Space Needle. Pike Place Market is a great place to go. You'll find that these are things that are unique to these cities and you won't find anywhere else. So while you're here, why not do it? Go shopping. It's strange. I'm not shopping myself, and I don't know how many people who are techies are, but in these countries there are things you won't get back in your own country. So go find something. Go find some new clothes. Whatever you like, go shopping for. Find some tech. There's Microsoft stores in the area, with it being the home of Microsoft. You'll find some excellent deals on the price, just because everything seems to be converted wise, especially for the UK, a lot cheaper in the United States. And relax. The competition's over now. You do have 2 or 3 days left in the city. Relax, do something, but don't just sit in your in the dorm or wherever you're staying and do nothing. Go out, find something to do. and try the local delicacy. Pike Place Market actually has some fantastic stalls. You can go get some fish from there, but you'll have to find somewhere to cook it because it's always fresh fish. Although I didn't go through everywhere, there might be somewhere in there, a restaurant or so, that might actually produce fish. I know it's a very prominent thing around that area, so you might find a restaurant in the local area which sells the fish from Pike Place. There's also some restaurants and a fantastic place to go get breakfast called Lowell's, and you'll enjoy it. Just go out and do something because you may never come back. Then there was the after party. Quite fun. We ended up having a party at the EMP Museum in Seattle. We had exclusive access to the entire museum, filled with local music memorabilia from Macklemore to Nirvana. We got access to the sci-fi section, so you've got things in there from Doctor Who, Star Trek, etc., etc. Then there was a section for film horror, including, this was quite cool for me because of where the film's based. So there's a section for Shaun of the Dead, there's extracts from Dracula I saw, and you can watch little movie clips of horror movies which have become cult classics. Then we have a live band and karaoke. This gentleman here, on the left, is Danny Brown. He was a student at the University of Hull and one of the UK finalists. And here they are on stage, sing along to a Spice Girls song, which was absolutely hilarious. But the other people in this picture, they're people from the US, from other countries. At this party, you get to come together with everyone. So it's a mingle between Microsoft employees, other students, the other teams that you would never have met unless you had come to this the finals itself, and it becomes a huge atmosphere that's lifted up by excitement for technology. So yeah, there's the mingling and connecting with Microsoft employees. It's not every day that you'll get to do this, so why not do it while you're there? There's free drinks. Grab a drink, go meet people, go just find someone and talk to them, and you'll end up making friendships with students worldwide. I still talk to quite a lot of the students that I met while I was there, from all over the world. People from South Africa, friends in the States, New Zealand, Australia, people from the other side of the world, people you will never know without actually connecting with them while you're there. So we're coming to the end now. You've left, you've got your application, it's nearly done. What to do with it? So the best thing to do is to touch up your app if there's any issues with it. If you've not finished it yet, get your app feature complete and ship off to the marketplace that you've developed it for. So if it's a Windows Phone app, get it on the Windows Phone marketplace. If it's a Windows Store app, get it on the Windows Store. But also, if you have made an application, an actual app, and not PC software, consider cross-platform development for the mobile app. Everything that's developed from Imagine Cup does have to be Microsoft centric, but if you're creating this mobile application, once you're finished, get it on all platforms. Get your project, your brand lifted by distributing to everyone. Actually being at the Imagine Cup gives you exposure. It provides the driving force behind future great successes, whether you've won or not. And take a break. Enjoy some well-deserved free time. You're finished. It's normally at the end of the academic year, so you've got a couple of months to just relax. Or you can prepare for next year. If you're still a student, or if you've just graduated, you get an extra year. Keep the team together and get ready for next year. But also network with the people that you've met. Keep in touch with these people, find them on LinkedIn, follow them on Twitter, and keep yourself connected. That's all I have to talk to you about today. Hope I've not droned on too long, and I hope you've enjoyed the presentation. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comments section down below and I'll get back in touch as soon as possible. But don't forget to enter the Imagine Cup. I'll leave a link in the description for you to go over to the Imagine Cup website. You can find out some more information on there about the 3 competitions and get yourself involved. It's a huge competition that adds value to you, it adds value to your CV and makes you more employable. You don't think about it while you're at university. It doesn't matter what year you're in. In the UK we work on a 3-year basis. Sometimes 4 if you're doing a master's or a sandwich year or internship. That's 4 chances, up to 4 chances, or 5 chances if you're going to do the graduate year, to enter the Imagine Cup competition. You have 5 chances. Take all of them. Do the Imagine Cup this year, do it next year, do it the year after that. You'll become much more confident as a student, you'll become much more confident as a software developer afterwards. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation and I'll see you all later.